Imagine this. A man meets many women throughout his life. Some catch his eye, some hold his attention for a while, but only a rare few make him stop and think, this is the one. What makes a man feel that deep certainty, that unshakable conviction that you are the woman he wants to commit to, protect, and invest in? Today we're diving deep into the psychology of male commitment. We're not talking about superficial attraction or short-term infatuation. We're uncovering the hidden triggers that activate a man's instinct to choose you above all others. And the last one I'm going to reveal is the most powerful of them all. Before we continue, make sure you're subscribed to Female Red Pill, leave a like, and drop a comment below. This video is going to challenge the way you see relationships, and I want to hear your thoughts. Let's get started. A man's decision to commit isn't random. It's not about finding the most beautiful woman, the most successful woman, or even the one who treats him the best. It's about something deeper, something rooted in his biology, psychology, and social conditioning. According to The Evolution of Desire by David Buss, men are hardwired to seek specific traits in long-term partners, traits that signal loyalty, emotional stability, and a deep understanding of his masculine nature. This is where most women go wrong. They assume that by giving more, loving more, or proving themselves they will earn commitment. But in reality, what makes a man feel that you are the right woman is not what you do for him. It's how you make him feel about himself when he's with you. A man will commit to the woman who mirrors his highest vision of himself. If you make him feel powerful, respected, and understood, he will associate those emotions with you. He will crave your presence not because of what you give him, but because of who he becomes when he's with you. Think about it. Men don't fall in love the way women do. Women bond through emotional depth and shared vulnerability. Men, on the other hand, bond through admiration and purpose. If he sees you as the woman who amplifies his mission, who aligns with his values, and who doesn't try to control or change him, that's when he starts to see you as the one. But there's something even more critical. A woman who a man chooses for the long term understands when to pull back. She knows how to create space, allowing him to chase, invest, and prove himself. This is where many women make a fatal mistake. They over-pursue, they over-give, and they take away a man's biological need to conquer. Dr. Robert Glover, in No More Mr. Nice Guy, explains that men are deeply drawn to women who embody both femininity and mystery. The moment a woman starts to over-explain herself, seeks too much validation, or places all her emotional fulfillment in a man, she loses that magnetic pull. Why? Because men value what they earn, not what is handed to them freely. So if you want to be the woman that a man chooses above all others, ask yourself, do you make him feel like the best version of himself? Do you respect his need for independence and purpose? Do you create an air of mystery that keeps him intrigued? These are just the beginning. In the next part, we're going to break down the core emotional triggers that make a man desperately want to commit to you and only you. And trust me, the last one will shock you. But before we continue, tell me in the comments, what do you think makes a man see a woman as the one? I want to hear your perspective. If you're enjoying this breakdown, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to Female Red Pill for more insights that will change the way you see relationships forever. Now, if you're ready for the real game changers, let's continue. A man's heart and mind do not surrender to a woman because of words alone. He doesn't commit just because she's kind, beautiful, or supportive. What truly makes a man choose one woman over all others comes down to something deeper, something instinctive. There are 4 core emotional triggers that activate a man's desire to commit. The first one is exclusivity of emotion. This is not about being physically exclusive. That's a given. It's about emotional exclusivity, the feeling that your energy, your focus, and your attention are not scattered. A man needs to feel that when he has you, he has access to something rare, something not every man can reach. Women who spread their emotional energy too thin, whether by entertaining multiple men, constantly seeking external validation, or needing excessive attention, fail to trigger this instinct. In contrast, a woman who is selective with her emotions, who doesn't give her heart easily, and who makes a man work to earn her affection, heightens her value in his mind. The second emotional trigger is the feeling of being irreplaceable. Men do not commit because they fear losing a woman. They commit because they fear losing what they become when they are with her. If a man feels that no other woman brings out his best self, fuels his ambition, and makes him feel like a king, he will do whatever it takes to keep her in his life. Rollo Tomasi, in The Rational Male, explains that men's loyalty is tied to their sense of significance. A woman who can make a man feel that his presence matters, that his guidance is valued, and that he is unique in her world, will capture his devotion far more than a woman who simply loves him. This leads us to the third emotional trigger, unpredictability with stability. This may sound contradictory, but it is one of the most powerful psychological hooks that keep men addicted to a woman. A relationship that is too predictable feels safe, but not exciting. A relationship that is too chaotic feels exciting, but not safe. The key is mastering both. A woman who can provide emotional stability while still keeping a man guessing, through playful unpredictability, occasional distance, and the ability to surprise him, creates an intoxicating effect. He never fully figures her out, and that makes him want more. This is why men often lose interest in relationships where everything is too available. The certainty of always knowing a woman is there, always texting, always ready, removes the psychological tension that keeps desire alive. This is not about playing games. It's about understanding male psychology and creating a natural balance between closeness and space. And now, the fourth emotional trigger, the one most women fail to understand, the ability to walk away. This is the most powerful trait a woman can have. It is what separates the women men chase from the women men settle for. A man will never fully commit his soul to a woman who he knows will stay no matter what. If he senses that a woman needs him more than she values herself, he will instinctively lose attraction. But when a man knows deep down that a woman will walk away rather than accept behavior beneath her standards, he will rise to meet her expectations. This is the law of human nature. We only value what we fear losing. Robert Greene in The Art of Seduction explains that those who hold the power of detachment command the greatest influence. If a woman can emotionally invest in a man while maintaining her ability to leave, she will command his highest level of respect and desire. Think about it. Have you ever noticed how men obsess over women who left them? Why men suddenly change when they realize they might lose someone? This is because commitment is not just about love, it's about psychological impact. Now let's reflect. If you want a man to see you as the one, you must ask yourself, do you give away your emotional energy too freely? Or do you make him earn your presence? Do you make him feel irreplaceable? Or does he feel like just another man in your life? Do you balance stability with unpredictability? Or have you become too predictable? Most importantly, do you have the strength to walk away if he doesn't meet your standards? In the next section, we're going to break down real-life scenarios where women unknowingly push men away, and how to reverse it instantly. The last insight will change everything you thought you knew about relationships. But before we continue, tell me in the comments, which of these emotional triggers do you think is the most powerful? Let's discuss. And if you're finding this valuable, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to Female Red Pill, because this is just the beginning. Now, let's take it even deeper. Most women push men away without even realizing it. They believe they are being loving, supportive, or good girlfriends, but in reality they are shutting off the very instincts that make a man feel deeply connected. Let's break down 3 common mistakes that make a man pull back, and how to reverse them so that he feels an irresistible need to commit. The first mistake, over-validation. Many women think that the more they validate a man, through constant compliments, endless emotional reassurance, or excessive availability, the more he will feel connected. But the truth is, men do not bond through excess validation. Men bond through earning respect and admiration. Think about this. When a man achieves something difficult like winning a championship, building a business, or overcoming an obstacle, does he feel more attached to the people who gave him constant, easy praise, or to those who challenged him, held him to high standards, and respected his efforts? In The Way of the Superior Man, David Deida explains that men are wired to seek challenge, not in the form of conflict, but in the form of earning a woman's respect and admiration. If you constantly validate him without requiring anything in return, he will start to feel less motivated to prove himself to you. Instead of over-validating, shift your focus to earned admiration. When he does something impressive, acknowledge it genuinely, but not excessively. When he falls short of his own potential, don't rush to reassure him. Let him feel the weight of self-improvement. Give validation that feels rare, so when you do praise him, it actually matters. The second mistake, trying to be everything to him. Many women think that if they give more love, more support, more time, he will see them as indispensable. But in reality, overgiving makes a woman less valuable in a man's eyes. Why? Because men value what they work for, not what is handed to them freely. A woman who makes her entire world revolve around a man unconsciously signals neediness, and neediness kills attraction. When a man senses that you have nothing going on outside of him, he does not feel honored. He feels trapped. In Why Men Love Bitches, Sherry Argoff explains that men commit more deeply to women who maintain their independence, passions, and boundaries. The more you have going on outside of him, the more he values the time he gets with you. Instead of being everything to him, become a woman of depth and purpose. Have your own passions, interests, and pursuits. Let him see that your happiness does not depend solely on him. Give him the opportunity to miss you by not always being available. The third mistake, tolerating low-effort behavior. This is one of the most damaging mistakes women make. They hope that by being patient, by being the understanding woman, and by accepting less than they deserve, a man will eventually step up. But here's the harsh truth. Men do not step up for women who tolerate less. They step up for women who demand more. If a man knows that he can cancel plans, avoid effort, or give bare minimum energy and you still stay, he has no reason to change. He will take the easiest path available. In the manual by W. Anton, he explains that the women who inspire deep, long-term commitment are the ones who do not hesitate to walk away from low effort. When a man realizes that he has something to lose, he naturally rises to the challenge. Instead of tolerating low effort, set a standard. When he puts in effort, appreciate it. When he pulls back or becomes lazy, don't chase him, pull back too. If he does not meet your standards consistently, be willing to leave. Now, let's reflect. Have you been over-validating a man without making him earn your admiration? Have you given too much trying to be his everything instead of maintaining your own purpose? Have you tolerated low effort, hoping he will realize your value instead of requiring him to prove it? If you answered yes to any of these, don't worry. These patterns can be reversed. And in the final section, we're going to unlock the ultimate secret that makes a man see you as the only woman he will ever commit to. This is the one thing that separates ordinary women from the rare, unforgettable women that men never let go of. Before we get there, tell me in the comments, which of these mistakes do you think is the most dangerous? I want to hear your thoughts. And if you haven't yet, make sure to like this video and subscribe to Female Red Pill, because this last insight will change everything. Now, let's reveal the final truth. There is one final truth, one that most women will never understand. It is the difference between a woman a man likes and a woman he cannot live without. It is the energy of inevitability. What does this mean? It means that a man does not fully commit to a woman because of logic, emotions, or even love. He commits because deep down he feels that losing her would be a mistake he could never recover from. This feeling is not created through effort. It is not something you convince a man of. It is something he realizes through the way you live, the way you carry yourself, and the way you handle your relationships. Here's the truth. A high-value woman is not one who fights for a man's commitment. She is one who creates such a powerful presence in his life that the thought of losing her forces him into action. In the 48 Laws of Power, Robert Greene describes how strategic absence can make a person's value skyrocket. If a woman is too available, if she constantly reassures a man that she will always be there, she becomes a background character in his life. But when she has the power to pull away, not as a game, but as a reflection of her self-worth, she becomes unforgettable. Men do not commit because they are given everything. They commit because they feel that they have earned something rare. So how do you cultivate this energy of inevitability? First, master detachment. Detachment does not mean you don't care. It means you do not tie your entire identity to whether or not a man chooses you. When a man senses that a woman's happiness, self-esteem, and emotional stability are dependent on him, he feels pressure, not attraction. But when he senses that she chooses to be with him, rather than needs him, he feels privileged to have her. Second, shift from hoping to choosing. A woman with inevitable energy does not sit around hoping a man will choose her. She decides whether or not he is worthy. She observes his actions, and if they do not align with what she desires, she moves on without hesitation. In Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus, John Gray explains that men are drawn to women who respect themselves more than they need love. A woman who stays in a situation where she is unappreciated loses value in a man's mind. But a woman who can walk away with dignity becomes a woman he cannot stop thinking about. Third, create an emotional legacy. Men remember women who change them, not women who serve them, chase them, or tolerate them, but women who inspire them to become more. Ask yourself, when he is around you, does he feel like a better version of himself? Does he associate you with growth, ambition, and purpose? Does he see you as a woman who challenges him to be his best, not through demands, but through your own high standards? If the answer is yes, he will not only commit, he will fight to keep you. And here is the final truth. A man's deepest fear is not losing a woman. It is losing a woman who makes him feel like a king. Now I want you to reflect on everything we've covered. We uncovered the emotional triggers that make a man choose a woman for life. We exposed the mistakes that push men away without women realizing it. And now, we have unlocked the secret of inevitability, the one thing that makes a man fear losing you more than anything. If you've been in a situation where a man pulled away, if you've ever wondered why he didn't choose you, it was never because you weren't enough. It was because you did not position yourself as the one thing he couldn't afford to lose. So now, I want to hear from you. Have you ever noticed how men suddenly change when they feel they might lose you? Have you ever experienced the difference between chasing a man versus making him step up for you? Tell me in the comments, I want to hear your thoughts. And if this video gave you new insights, make sure you like it, subscribe to Female Read Pill, and share this with a friend who needs to hear it. If you want to go even deeper, watch these 2 videos on the screen now. One reveals how to maintain power in relationships, and the other exposes why some women always get commitment while others struggle. Watch them both. They will change the way you see everything. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.